I'd like to call the Wednesday, February 28, 2024 Douglas Planning Board meeting to order. Time is 7 p.m. New thing we're going to do, it's on the agenda. First thing is just attendance. Just do a roll call vote around the table.
Meg Schlesman.
Mike DeRose.
Richard Preston.
Mike Greco.
Mike Swicker.
Matthew Benoit.
And absent, Aaron Sokrat is excused. He reached out ahead of time. Ernest Marks is excused. And with that, just want to discuss with the board. It's don't want to go too much into detail, but it's been a little while for Mr. Marks. I was talking to Mr. Benoit and kind of recommended maybe we just reach out for just a status to see, if he has a timeline on if and when he's looking to return. All his absence has been excused, obviously, but just looking to get his, and also just check in on him. So Matt said maybe with a board's vote, we'd just send him a letter and just ask for his status and anticipated return.
Yeah, I think, at least reach out, speak to Ernie.
It's a form of a motion.
So moved. I
Second.
made it.
All right. Motion made by Mrs. Wicker, second by Mr. Preston. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You got that?
Yep.
All right. A&Rs, there are no A&Rs. Public hearings. Public hearing continued for 7 p.m. Travis DeRazio, application for special permit, SP-240108, converting one family to two family, 17 Depot Street, possible votes. Come on up, Travis. Is anyone anyone else coming in? You're just going to be you? Okay. And if you can just talk about any plans that there, or any changes to the plans.
Sure.
Just introduce yourself for the record.
Travis Rosario, 6A Peter Street, Uxbridge, Massachusetts. So a couple things that I just wanted to address from our last meeting. I think you all have the copies of the updated plan. I did go back to the site survey. He did apologize, it was a cut and paste error on the bottom numbers.
Okay.
I did have him add in the 2 parking spaces extra that you had asked. He put the limit of work. He added in the proposed porch on the back. And he put every number, every measurement you could ask for. So I hope that you find that acceptable. I also, and I know you had mentioned last meeting, you're a numbers guy. I am not, I am a visual person. So I did take some pictures just so you guys can see sort of the before and after, because I know Aaron had also raised concerns about the sizing of the.
Are they all the same?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Just take-
You're all, I made 5 copies. You might have to share. Well,
For the file.
and there's 5 and 6.
You're it.
What's the other ones?
You're it.
And here are these for you. Yep.
Yep.
No, they go together.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
1, 2.
So picture number 1 is what we started with. That's before we did any work. And then picture 2 is sort of in progress, how we started some of the land that we used to widen it.
Sure.
You didn't get a copy for me. So picture 1 and 3 are actually the same view, just so you can see how wide it is and compared to what we started with and what it is now. You can see that there's a 30-yard dumpster there and an enclosed trailer. You can see that there's space on either side, and there's also space in between, which I think would satisfy the, size of them to be able to open and close the doors and get in. 30-yard dumpster and the enclosed trailer are smaller than your typical car or SUV.
Bigger. They're bigger.
Yes, thank you. So, there is plenty of room for additional parking in addition to the 4 spots that we had laid out on the plan.
Okay.
Picture number 5 is just another, picture number 5 and number 8 are also just to show you, the space that's there and the length as well. Picture number 6 is the side yard. One of the abutters had said that we were possibly encroaching on their property. I just want to show you that we have not, that's undisturbed, we have not touched the side yard. And then picture number 7, there was also some mention of the hedges. So I just want to note, the hedges are there, we don't have any plans to get rid of them. I would request that they be cut back because they are currently touching our shed. Additionally, I know we already have a non-conforming lot. When we had the site survey done, we actually found out that our lot is larger than what is on the deed. Because when they do a site survey, they look at all the other, properties around, they go to all those deeds, all those site surveys. So the lot is a little bit larger. We will be having it staked out, get the Mylars in, and put that on with the registry of deeds, just to show the property line, and there won't be any issues in the future. I want to reiterate that it's going to be, we are hoping to get a 2-family. It will be owner occupied. There were some comments about renters. I don't think that applies here. It's going to be owner occupied. What was the other thing? Oh, and I did want to apologize to Kate, who is our neighbor to one side. She had asked me at the last meeting if we were going to make any changes to that side of the house, and I had said no. When in fact, there will be one change to that side of the house. If this is approved, one of the windows, it's currently a bedroom window, it will actually be smaller because it will be an over the kitchen sink window. So I wanted to acknowledge that, because it will be, it's a very minor change in the back, so.
Okay. And just looking at the pictures, are you planning a retaining wall, or
Yes.
how are you going to do that?
There will be a retaining wall there.
Okay. I'm just looking at how much earth was cut out there, and it's going to do something, don't just hold it back.
Yeah, no, my husband's actually a mason, so,
So you have the right man for the job.
yep.
Okay. All right, Mr. Benoit, any comments for you?
No, I think she amended the plan as the board had requested. It's just whether or not we find the review criteria for a special permit to be in order.
Okay.
That's it.
Board, any questions, comments, concerns?
No? No.
All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone in the audience wish to speak on this matter or ask a question? Mark?
Mark Mungiam, 20 Depot Street. Can we see a copy of the plan, or the revised plan, to see how the parking is arranged?
Yeah.
Because, that is our primary concern. I just want to make sure that you're looking at it, that if it's a 2-family, that, they're not having to go contact someone from the other side or from the other apartment to be able to get out of the driveway. So the way the setup is here, I understand there's room for 4 cars, but can the cars in Unit 2 get past the car for Unit 1 around that edge that you said? There's a hard edge there where a retaining wall is needed. Can those cars get past that corner to be able to back out without, interfering with the cars from Unit 1? So I would just like to make sure that that is looked at and confirmed.
All right. And any other?
To the board, to the chair. Picture
I see.
number 4, looks like it's going to be really pretty deep there, Mark, if they go all the way up there.
Yeah, I understand that there's enough space
Yeah.
going in to put 4 cars, but like I said, can the cars in Unit 2 on the left side, can they back out past that, you know?
Yeah.
There's a big slope there, it's a very steep slope, and right now, it's really tight going out to the road. You know, it's a very narrow area going out to the road, so.
All right. Trent, do you have a plan for how you plan on getting 4 cars out?
They're-
Or an idea?
You know, Unit 1, Unit 2.
Yeah.
Tandem. And there is, when you look at the pictures, there is more space. Also, I know there was a concern about large trucks and parking on the street. During construction, for that short amount of time, we can ask the contractors the best we can to park in the driveway. I mean, I can't really control where the
Yeah.
contractors park, because I know it does hurt the sightline when people park on the side of the road.
Well, I guess maybe I'll reword it. You said it's going to be owner occupied, so are you planning on knowing the other family?
Not at this time.
I'm just trying to think, like, would you just work together to figure out if someone's
I
got
mean, right now, where we are, we have 4 cars. We have another property in Douglas where we store our cars. We have another 3-car bay. It's not, we don't keep them on our property now.
Yeah.
It's,
All right.
Yeah, I was going to say, the plan shows that they're widening the driveway another 5 feet.
correct.
So that will give plenty of access to get the cars in Unit 2 in and out. So it shows the current jut, but it also shows that it's going to be widened.
There's a big stump there right now that need to remove.
So if this work is completed as shown, then it would meet that requirement of being able to get in and out of that site.
And also, the requirement's only 2 cars total anyways, so this is kind of above.
We extended it because I think you had mentioned last time it was sort of a teardrop. So that's why we adjusted it that way.
Okay. Ma'am? If you can just approach and just say your name and address, please.
Susan Wickersman, 19 Depot Street. What Mark was talking about, the corner on the sidewalk driveway end, there are some large stumps there sticking up under. Are they going to have to remove all of that embankment to widen that end of the driveway to get out to the street for people to come in and because there's stumps there. There's 5 or 6 stumps on that edge, and that makes it closer to my trees. Now, they're talking 33 feet from my property line to where they want to extend. I'm concerned about that. And I'm also concerned about, I don't know where they're finding more property. My line was done in 1830. My posts are there. I'm not quite sure where she's coming up with more property.
The posts are on your property?
Yeah,
Yes.
Travis, just
Oh, sorry.
let her,
No,
yeah.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. The posts are on her property.
Yes,
And it's shown
the
on the
posts that
plan.
go along the back of their property were my property also. The property went from Depot Street to Cottage Street to Hunt Pond to here. I just feel I'm concerned about that corner. I'm concerned about the height of the embankment that they have to dig away to add that extra 5 feet or add that extra footage at the bottom of the driveway to let people come and go. There's some pretty significant 50, 60, 70-year-old hemlock stumps there, and is that going to be excavated with machinery? You know, I'm on the hill, I'm above. The embankment is quite high. All of that lower terrace garden was pushed into the backyard or it was hauled away in a dump truck. Is conservation going to be involved in this at all?
No.
Where stumps and dirt and earth are being removed?
No.
No.
Okay. mean, I'm just trying to protect what is there. That property has been there for a long time, and coming in and moving it is never a good thing when you're moving old dirt. Roots, trees, rocks, all that kind of stuff. The other thing is the deck that's going on, I'm not quite sure I want to be overlooked. I mean, the people that are at 17 Depot aren't here, but that deck is going to be right in their driveway. The wall that goes along the north side of the house, there's got to be some kind of fence. There's a drop. I'm just really concerned. That's all.
Okay. All right, thank you. Travis, just looking at the dotted black dots around the driveway, is that your proposed what's going to be kind of taken out? Looking at the plan, see where like 440, 442 is? Are you removing,
Yeah, it's the limit of the proposed exterior work.
We're widening the drive, it goes, the dotted
yeah,
is, yes. The 440 and the 442, I believe, are elevations.
Yeah.
and all those dots right there, that's kind of what you're taking out?
Yeah, that's the limit.
Okay.
Yes, yep.
It's only 4 feet. Or 38, 44, 42. Through the chair, Travis, is reflected here the change in the lot size?
What is here is what the actual lot size is.
Okay.
It's
With the change that you're being told
correct.
is an
according
increase
from
in
the
your,
deed and yes.
which side is it on?
The south side.
Okay.
You're showing, excuse me, through the chair,
Yep.
you're showing the bounds on this plan
Correct.
that are,
They don't, this is what will be at the registry of deeds. It's different from the deed.
So through the chair, this is the updated
Correct.
version, okay.
And like she said, it is at the granite posts.
Okay, and are you removing the stumps in that area? That
The trees have been cut down.
Yeah,
So yes,
they're gonna get,
most of that. Not, I mean, they're not along the front. They're more along the side.
okay. All right, anyone else in the audience have a question or concern with this? Anyone online, questions or concerns with this? Okay, seeing as none. Board, any follow-ups? Matt, do you have anything?
no, I think they show the proposed limit of work. I think we talked about it needing walls. That could be something that you condition. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
And the stumps to be removed from the driveway entrance. Any damage to the sidewalk would be the responsibility of the applicant to repair.
They're concrete and that's mason.
I mean, through the chair, anything to do with the deck and stuff, that's all through the building inspector and stuff.
Yep.
That has nothing really to do with us.
Yeah, just for our consideration for it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there are no further comments or questions, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Preston, seconded by Mr. Zwicker. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, public hearing is closed. We're just going to discuss it and
Yeah, so with the widening of the driveway, that eases to the fact of being able to get in and out apartment 1, apartment 2, where once that stump and that trees in this picture is gone, it's 5 feet wider, it makes that difference for the cars for each side. You're not dealing with other tenants to move vehicles. And it's right on the print that they're gonna make it wider there,
You
the
can
opening.
even tuck a car in that area too.
Right.
Keep it out of the way.
I mean, as far as the setbacks, I mean, we're 33 feet away from a property line. So,
All right, so for the special permit, our considerations are, the criteria, there's 6 of them. Traffic flow and safety, including parking and loading. 2, social, economic, and community needs, which are served by the proposal. 3, adequacy of utilities and public services. 4, neighborhood character and social structures. 5, impacts on natural environment. And 6, potential fiscal impact, including impact on town services, tax base, and employment. So those are just our considerations for the granting or denying the special permit. So if anyone has any comments on those and how the plan may or may not pertain to them.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
So the proposed retaining wall, that's going to be where they cut off of the driveway, is that correct? Is that what that's going to,
Yeah, like around picture 4, that,
on the left there?
yeah, that berm, just to hold back that side, right?
And that would help concerns of runoff or
yeah.
what have you, affecting the other adjacent property,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Keep it level and,
Yeah, by doing that, although there will be a drop-off that's closer to the property line, it's not like it's going to be a full swale from the property line down. And I think that preserves more of the existing look. Trees are always tough. You get attached to them, and they're gone now. So removing the stumps is kind of a normal thing. You wouldn't want to be looking at rotted stumps on the side of the road.
yeah.
So
And what possible conditions, you mentioned the wall,
I got stumps to be removed from the driveway entrance. Any damage to the sidewalk would be the responsibility of the property owner. Grade to be secured by retaining walls along the driveway. Driveway permit should be obtained from the highway department to expand the driveway. Construction vehicles should not park within the right-of-way. It should be on-site. And then your standard special permit conditions.
just with the construction vehicles, I'm just thinking like when practical, just,
You're right.
I don't want to have them violate if just, happen to be the one day there's an electrician, plumber, and a finished carpenter there, and they're just nowhere.
Yeah, but they can't park on the sidewalk legally.
So, but they can park on the road, they legally can, but
Yeah.
when practical,
Right.
park in the driveway. It's not the best place to park on the street, but you can legally park in the street. We just want to keep it off the road as most practical as we can.
Okay.
I mean, it's a public road, you can't stop it. I mean, it's just abide by local law on the parking situation. You know, I see other houses, other places with cars parked in front of them, all up and down that road, so.
So with that, we're at a point where if there's any other discussion to be made, making a vote on it with anything, with the conditions possible, if it's passed.
So your active voting members are your 4 full-time members, and you choose one of the alternates as voter for 5. So you need a 4 out of 5. Since Aaron's not here. So
Yeah.
4 full-time members for your quorum, and then one of the alternates. Vote.
Okay. I have to choose that?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Who's got a coin?
Chair, I'll make it easy for you. I'll hand it over to you.
I was just gonna do an evens or odds game. All right,
Full straws.
all right. So with that, anyone care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. With the conditions
Motion to,
to approve the special permit for the multifamily home. Is that what we're saying?
at 17
I
Depot
can't
Street.
hear her.
Yeah.
Sorry. Trying to figure out the words I need to say.
I think you're looking for a motion to
Approve
approve
the
the special permit
Special permit
for the converting a one-family to a two-family at 17 Depot Street with standard conditions plus the special conditions discussed at the meeting.
So moved.
Yes. Thank you, Matt.
Sure.
I'll second it.
All right, motion made by Ms. Schlesman, seconded by Mr. Zwicker. Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Just leave rest.
Meg Schlesman, aye.
Mike DeRose, aye.
Mike Greco?
Mr.
Greco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye.
Okay.
And you, sir?
Jacob Schultzberg, aye.
Okay.
I was confused with that.
All right. So we'll have a decision drafted and ready for the next meeting for the board to sign.
Yep.
It was just so much easier when we had all full-time members. Okay. Additional business, we have a letter from CPA, Community Preservation Act, open space letter, looking for a volunteer. Mr. Benoit, can you just kind of give me a quick rundown of what this is?
Sure. So the Community Preservation Act is an initiative set forth in our open space and recreation plan. It's, it forms a committee that would establish a property tax levy up to 3% on real property to fund the actions of the committee and preservation of conservation land. It's, a lot of towns do it, not all towns do this, but we're looking for a volunteer to at least get started on that committee to start that discussion for the establishing the levy.
I'm just seeing this at the bottom. The open space and rec plan has been approved and will be effective for 7 years. Okay. Anyone on the board interested in volunteering to be a member of this? Do you know how much of a commitment they're looking for?
I do not. We could table this to the next agenda so folks have a chance to digest it.
Okay,
That's what the Conservation Commission did at their last meeting.
okay. Yeah, just looking to see how long exactly it's going to be going
I
for.
think they asked the same question.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll table that for.
Okay.
Yeah, just try to get as much info on it.
Okay.
And also find out if, it says that 4 members of the community can join. Is there a minimum requirement?
I'm not sure. I haven't done one of these before. I've never been part of a community that's done
I mean,
it.
it's open to the community. How would they even know?
They advertise it at the library and try to get folks. But that's really it on the website. Try to bring folks in, but
Is there a pressing timeline to get someone on? Do you know?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Yeah, we'll table it for the next meeting and just, if Jen can just forward anything, just some more information on it.
Okay.
Okay. Master plan, Mr. Benoit, any updates on
I don't
that?
have any updates on this. Our next meeting is March 20th, I believe.
The first meeting for.
Yes,
that,
the
okay.
first meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, March 20th. I don't have any other updates on that. It's just staying on our agenda as an item
Okay.
until then.
All
We're
right.
meeting though next Wednesday. Was the initial, right?
20th of March, I think. Is the first.
20 is going to be the first one?
Yep.
Okay.
I think it was proposed to do 2 weeks earlier, but it was,
Did it get changed?
Yeah.
is there a conflict or?
Yeah, it was.
All right. Ongoing development. Looking at the list, is there anything, C, is there anything else for ongoing development?
Well, we go right into Blue Wave.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. All right, Blue Wave Solar at Oak Street.
Recuse myself, Mr. Chair.
All right. SPR-200203 and SR-200203.
Yep.
See, we have Jeff Murphy on, Doug Bush, and do you see Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon's on there, yep.
All right. So we have a monitoring report from February 23rd. Yes, start with you guys. How's things going over there?
Pretty good this last couple of weeks. Good.
Sorry, if you just say
sorry.
your name and address.
Pat from J. Bates & Son, Clinton, Massachusetts.
Jason Smith, Blue Wave.
Greg Morehouse, Mill Creek Renewables. That's all right. Thank you.
The last couple of weeks we had some good weather. We made some good headway on getting the basins kind of pumped down. We got pretty much, today we had them both pretty much down to the bottom. The last week we've done in Basin 2, we've mucked out, we had it completely dry, mucked out the bottoms of the basin, got all the silt out, installed the gravel base, installed the wick drain, and finished that up yesterday. And then going forward, if we can get the rest of the basin, after this weather this week, we'll get the basin pumped down and install the outlet control structure and the pipe through the berm. We graded up a lot more areas on site and kind of loamed them up. Friday, we have straw mulch going down on all the rest of the kind of unstabilized areas out on site that are out there now. We did some more kind of road construction, kind of tying around the edges and getting the swales tied in a little further. And that's been the majority of the construction out there the last 2 weeks, I guess.
All right. So I know this is from February 23rd, so it's a couple days old. So just, Mr. Bush of Haley Ward went out to the site. I just want to go over what his comments were on it. The contractor should continue to work within the parameters of current enforcement orders to construct the basin as designed and to stabilize the area. Infiltration basin 5 and surrounding area may require further evaluation to determine adequate design modifications to mitigate runoff from the site. So let's just talk about that. What's the update on that?
Jeff? Yeah, Jeff was there, and Doug was out there today too, so he probably had some
Did a
comments.
site walk today.
Okay.
so.
Jeff?
Sure. Jeff Murphy, civil engineer with Beals and Thomas. We are still working through the reassessment of the Basin 5 area. I think we had sent out an update to the board as well as the Conservation Commission on Friday, February 16th, which basically outlined the items that we were in process of reevaluating and trying to design some additional modifications and features to address the water that's coming from above Basin 5. So we're currently still working through that design.
Chair, do you happen to have a copy of that communication we had sent to Brandon?
I don't believe I do.
Okay.
I don't think I got that.
Did we?
I have a copy of the inspection report that you're looking for.
No, there's,
Do you have a copy of this?
we do, we do. We received another one today, I think from Doug.
Okay.
No, I don't think we got one yet, but he was out there today.
Okay.
Doing an inspection as we did our weekly site walk.
Oh, there was.
Mr. Bush, any comments with I just want to go back to that February 23rd. I just want to go through each line item there. Any comments for that one, for Basin 5 and how that's looking in regards to this update?
Sure, Douglas Bush, Haley Ward, we actually have a proposal out that we sent to Mr. Benoit on behalf of the Conservation Commission to take a thorough look at at Basin 5. So at this point, we don't have a signed contract, but there is a proposal out to do the work.
Okay. When was that sent? Was that?
We sent that over on the 26th, which was a couple days ago.
Okay. So that, with that, that's gonna go, what's the,
We just need payment from Blue Wave on those, and then we sign the work order.
okay.
So
We have
we just
Got a handful of checks in mind.
All right, so you guys are working that detail out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then number 2 regarding riprap swale. Confirm grading of the swale leading to Basin 2 as proposed. The plan shows that the swale was proposed to be cut into existing grade while the on-site conditions have fill to the western side. Earthen slopes have been stabilized with an erosion control blanket. Any update on that? Confirm grading of the swale leading to Basin 2 as proposed?
Yeah,
Doug or Pat?
we went out and looked at it today with Doug, and there's some area disturbed around it, and we are gonna survey that and get the information over to you guys. Probably in the next week or so, we'll get that information over and just make sure it's, double check that.
Okay. I shouldn't have anything. All right, I'll go right to number 3. Install the cement concrete weir within infiltration basin 2, proposed overflow spillway as shown on detail EE of sheet C-602. Continue progress on remaining features of this basin and work within the current enforcement orders. Mr. Murphy?
That could be me, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the ongoing work in the basin. I mean, the weir was in, I think Doug saw that today. I think it was just snow covered last time we were out there, but still some of the internal features we're putting in there, but that's ongoing work we're doing out there right now.
Okay. And I know you're out there today, Mr. Bush. How's that looking over there regards to Basin 2?
Yeah, no, it's looking better. They did, the weir is in. They're getting the areas surrounding the area stabilized. The whip drain has been installed at the base of that, at the bottom of that floor, on the floor of that basin, excuse me. So things seem to be moving along. Doesn't seem to be a tremendous amount of issues with that.
Okay, thank you. Number 4, the rock piles should be cleared to provide space for proposed features as shown on sheet C402.
Yep, so that's going to be a bit of a longer term thing. So we'll usually do the plantings towards the end of the project. We do have that big pile of rocks kind of in that corner that we removed when we were cleaning the site. So we will get those out of there in order to plant the trees, probably a couple months.
Yeah, just a long-term construction.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that tracking good with you, Mr. Bush?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, it was apparent that the tracking pad that was installed was not sufficient. I'm just going to go right to it. That's embarrassing, that tracking pad. Has that been replaced?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, that's an addition. We do have the construction, we have like, I don't know, I could measure it out, but there's probably a 70-foot construction entrance to, the typical one.
Okay.
And then additionally upgrading that's a 14 feet wide. That's an additional measure to our regular tracking pad that we have there. I'm not sure if the picture really depicts it. I mean, that's a typical mechanical pad above.
In photo 3, I don't,
Yeah,
that one there.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it probably goes up like another 30, 40 feet from.
Because that's not wide at all, so your standard dump truck and equipment vehicles.
That's what I'm kind of saying. It's 14 feet wide.
That's 14 feet wide?
Yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, you can kind of see the scale of that car in the front of it. You can see how far away that car is there.
So,
Yeah,
just in
that
the,
was just an observation I had made. I had seen a large, dump truck go by and didn't seem to be wide enough to handle that particular vehicle.
We can
That
double.
was just an observation that I made.
Yeah. Do you think you can try to get one just wider? Because in case the truck's coming up the driveway and truck's going down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe just a
Yeah, double
Yeah, I think
up.
we can readjust them to get
Okay.
We will
full
address it.
full coverage out there.
Next time we see you, we'll have it fixed.
Okay. All right. The riprap tracking pad should be redone with new riprap stones to maximize the amount of sediment removal. Riprap tracking pad, has that been redone?
It hasn't yet. We talked about that out on site today. We'll get some more riprap on there this week to
Okay.
kind of.
And we did refresh that about a month ago, so it's just going to kind of be an ongoing maintenance thing.
Okay. And Mr. Bush, that tracking well with you?
Yes.
Okay. Number 6, continue to evaluate and provide solutions to repair the seepage through the embankment. Flow paths through the earthen embankments can cause failure, which will release any water and sediment with them.
Which embankment?
This is for one.
Basin 1.
Basin 1.
Yep.
I'd say last time we were here, that was on the list of items that we knew that need to be repaired. We're just looking for the right time to do so.
Okay. In the meantime, continue to evaluate. Have you learned anything, seen anything new that?
A couple items on that one is there's an anti-seep collar that's going to go around the pipe there that hasn't been installed yet. So the pipe's in, but there's not the anti-seep collar around it. So that's one of the items that we think will help in that area. And then we're going to kind of beef up the clay core where it goes through the concrete weirs there, and there's a lot of stuff kind of coming together in there. So we talked about going on the front side of install, like adding additional clay core on the front side of that to kind of make sure we've got any seepage in that area covered.
Okay. Mr. Bush, any? Yep.
I'm sorry. Yeah, just to clarify, so yes, there is, there's the outlet pipe, and then there's the spillway, and then approximately 7 feet. It's kind of, if you're looking towards Oak Street, approximately 7 feet to the right of that spillway is the area that I was talking about with the seepage. When there's a high enough, a large enough amount of volume of water in that basin, it's visible seeping out from the base of that embankment. That's the area that I was specifically talking about. And that's just, he had mentioned it, Bates had mentioned it just a minute ago about, possibly looking at repair to the impervious core there.
Okay. All right. Number 7, the design engineer should evaluate and provide a permanent solution to reduce, eliminate sediment and runoff from discharging to Oak Street. What's the status of that? I know that's also probably within the enforcement order of Concom, but any changes with that?
I don't think it was specifically related to the enforcement or the site entrance. I believe it was.
Okay.
But we are still working through and evaluating potential solutions to further mitigate water from the site entrance area and making those two temporary, or basically the two sediment basins that are there are intended to remain. And so we're just looking at formalizing those. So that's going to be part of our revised plans and stormwater calculations that we'll be putting together.
Okay. Timeline, how you looking on putting together an updated plan?
I don't have a specific date in mind, but we are working on it.
Okay. Did you say something?
Jason?
Oh, just to state, the last time that we were here, some of the things that Jeffrey just listed were the things that we had provided you about the entrance in Basin 1.
Okay.
The specifics at least.
All right. Mr. Bush, any follow-up for your number 7 there?
We also have a proposal to do a thorough review of that area as well. No signed contract at the moment.
And we have that check with us as well.
Sounds good. All right. Board, any questions?
Yeah, sorry. To the chair, can we just understand timelines around work that's being proposed? And I know that you had said that you don't have a timeline for your portion of it, but there seems to be some other items that are in play.
Was that for the engineer?
Doug?
Oh, Doug.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was for me.
That's okay.
Can you say that again?
Sure. So there were some things that were talked about regarding agreements with you for work to be performed. Can you give us an idea of timelines around those?
Timelines for us to review the work, or, because as of right now, there's no signed contracts, but I understand that there's payment shortly. But yeah, we're going to try and get those reviewed. Basin 1 will take a little longer until Jeff can get us some information, but you know, Basin 5, I know everybody wants to get this thing going, moving along, so we're going to try and do our review of this area as quickly as possible. You know, hopefully in a couple weeks, we should have something.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else on the board? Comments? Mr. Preston?
Gentlemen, as you're probably aware, that we have 4 or 5 days of rain coming. We feel we have adequate surface water controls in place now.
Yeah, we've got the basins are, you know, as of today, they were pretty much empty. You know, we got a little more rain. That was around like noontime. We had them, you could see the bottoms of the basins. Basin 5 was a little bit in there, and I mean, there's a lot of storage in there. And, you know, we've got people, even today, we weren't doing necessarily work on site, but we're, you know, maintaining and doing any pumping, anything we need to do to kind of move water around on site to keep storage in the basins.
Okay.
Yes, very confident.
Yes, thank you.
Brandon, how are we looking on your end? We didn't see you at that last meeting, so let's do a little catch up.
It's muted.
1 second.
I always forget about the mute button, sorry. Yeah, the question is, where do we start? There's so many moving parts. I guess I could start by saying that one of the functions I think that I'm adding value for both Douglas and Sutton is, you know, keeping my paper as the words move across the page when it comes to everything that's going on here. So, you know, I'm paying attention and, you know, actively, you know, part of this whole situation. So I got a pretty good idea of where just about everybody is on all aspects of this as we go forward. With conservation, you know, like Doug was saying, Conservation Commission recently compelled a relook at Basin 5 and a peer review of Basin 5. So that was added to the work program by Haley Ward. So they're already doing the relook at Basin 1 per your directive. So now they're doing a relook at Basin 5 under Concom's directive. I'm also working with the Mazinskis and Blue Wave as kind of a go-between to help facilitate an access agreement onto their land and right across the line on Sutton to start the cleanup of all the sediment that left this site in mostly in December. So I got that going on. You know, I've been keeping in close contact with Matt Benoit. We have weekly meetings about, you know, this and every other conservation issue, but, you know, where we are, what the plans are, where we're going. I mean, beyond that, if you have any specific questions, I'm sure I can answer them for you. Oh, here's one thing before we do that. You know, I have been doing weekly site inspection walks with Blue Wave. Doug Bush has been attending the last couple of weeks as well. And one thing that we're proposing and hope that can happen in the next week or two is Ryan Fatman, our senator, state senator, would like to take a tour of the job site. He wrote a letter of support to both the Douglas and Sutton Conservation Commissions in the last week, saying that they support both Conservation Commissions and our endeavors to bring the site back into compliance, and also supporting, you know, regarding the fines that are being levied. So he would like to get boots on the ground himself to see everything that's going on. So I'm working on that as well.
Okay. Anyone planning to go out there tomorrow after the rain?
Yeah, we're out there every day. I mean, I'll have
Okay.
people out there for sure.
Anyone from the town or Brandon? I don't know when you're, just because this is probably the most rain we're getting tonight in a while, just to kind of see how everything is functioning.
We do have our third-party SWIP inspector will be out there too.
Would you be able to come out tomorrow? It's an offer.
Yeah. What time are you guys there until?
As late as the light can help us.
Yeah, I mean-
If you'd like to be there later, that's fine.
Yeah, obviously I want to see in the daylight. I get out of work at 3:30 and
Yeah.
as you know, I work for
Understood.
utility company, so a big storm coming in and
Oh,
yeah.
I work at 3:30.
So I'm hoping to be out at 3:30.
We could accommodate it at any hour at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Before we leave, I can maybe get your
Yeah, you bet.
contact and I'd like to try to get out there and to see what it, but I wouldn't mind
Look
like a third party, just, I can see, but, I'm not an engineer.
Get your eyes on
Yeah.
yourself
I
as
s-
well.
Yeah,
You bet.
I'll go with you.
yeah. All right. Ms. Mazin, quick question on that, or?
Just a comment, please. Lisa Malzinski, 60 Oak Street, across the street, basically, from Basin 1. When you go out, look at the road. The water's pouring into the road again. This is serious damage and complications to Oak Street. And I would ask that you please put some stakes in the ground for dates certain that things can happen, because meeting to meeting, everything's just pushed off and pushed off and pushed off. So like April 1st, you expect to see, what, the plan going forward for Basin 1? Because otherwise, it's like we're working on it, we're working on it, we're working on it. In the meantime, we see more and more water on Oak Street. And the trucks are leaving a lot of mud on Oak Street. So could you please put some dates certain in there? Thank you.
All right, I think that issue with that pad might help with that.
Yep.
Definitely will.
And again, any issues that arise, please email Mr. Benoit or Brandon, pictures, so it can be sorted or sent to the appropriate people in a timely manner. Anything, Gordon?
I have a question.
Yeah.
If the runoff and the basins are working properly, then how is there water running onto Oak Street? Is it coming from the site?
I mean, the basins do outflow, they don't hold all the water back forever, so, I mean, and then the other issue is the seep, the seep, I think, if we can get that taken care of, that will slow.
That's the problem, you believe, and we fix the seepage?
It's a contributing factor.
I would say in part, but it's also the way that the design is, that the water comes out, and in that area where Ms. Bazinski's mentioning, is supposed to perk down into the ground. And some of that water, presumably similar to what it used to do. And Jeffrey can speak about what that looked like in 2020, 2021, and I believe 2022. Water was already coming through that wall. I think the goal here is to make sure that not an additional amount of water is coming out that area, and that is our goal.
I know we mentioned soil sampling inside the basin. Has that been done yet?
It has.
How'd that come out?
So the
Any
original
results?
the original results that we did were just for metals and a couple.
No, I
of
think he's
other
talking about infiltration.
Yeah, infiltration
Oh,
rates,
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
inside the basin.
We didn't do those. We weren't asked to do those, and we did take a look at, I think, Jeffrey, maybe you can explain the design and the discount of infiltration just for that purpose.
'Cause I thought we were going to sample the ground inside those basins to confirm, I think, on a recommendation from Brandon.
You are correct, Mr. Chairman. However, I think that might have been limited just to Basin 1 at that time. I know it was definitely for Basin 1. If it was to Basin 2, we might have to go back and look at the minutes.
I'm fairly confident for Basin 1.
Basin 1, definitely. But then-
Yeah, that was a whole change in condition. That was, I remember that.
Yeah, as part of the relook at Basin 1, the in situ infiltration had to be done for Basin 1, which they haven't gotten to yet. They've been working on Basin 2, and there has been no requirement to go back and peer review Basin 2 at the moment.
So let's try to get those infiltration rates to,
Okay.
because we're working on possible redesigns of 1, so I want to know what's in the ground there.
Okay.
Let's see if it's going to change, if that's a contributing factor. All right, Mr. Benoit, anything? You have a card?
I mean, I kind of defer to the experts and Doug and Brandon on this.
Okay. Yeah, no, Doug, do you have any kind of other input? I know you said you were out there this week. And we just haven't gotten the site inspection memo yet, so any kind of highlighting factors you want to talk about? I know that's going to be on the memo, but before we get our hands on it.
Yeah, I'll be sending one out, sending another memo out tomorrow at some point, probably later in the day. No major changes. Seems like they're trying to shore some of the areas up, erosion control mats. Yeah, but for the most part, right now, like I said, not a lot of changes, and we're just waiting on signed contracts so we can get into our review of those basins and get that done as quickly as we can.
All right. Yeah, I definitely want to see that track and pad.
Is waiting with bated breath.
Yeah. All right, Brandon, when's your next meeting? I know you fall before us in the week.
Yeah, we have, Conservation has a meeting coming up this Monday.
Okay, and that's well before us, so.
Yeah, and we're really looking forward to Haley Ward's peer review of both those basins and, the site in general, at which point I have to review it and come up with recommendations to give to the Conservation Commission. There's many ways it could go, but I'm withholding judgment until we get an analysis from Mr. Bush, and we'll take it from there.
Okay. Anything else, board? Thank you.
Thank you.
And anytime you want to arrange a site visit, Matt, I think you have all of our contact. Feel free to reach out to us anytime.
Thank you. Okay.
Welcome back, Mrs. Wicker.
I'm back.
I'm gonna have some signatures going around. We'll just start working on that as Matt gets caught up here.
With my hieroglyphics.
That's one. These. Same one this time.
Is that right?
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's all right. And I'll check in with Matt too, just to.
Yeah, no worries.
So that one. Okay, awesome. And, let's do that. Okay. These ones here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
All right, any other ongoing development updates? I don't think there
No,
was.
sir. No.
All right. Staff updates?
None?
Okay. Signatures are going around, and also the decision for 134 U Street accessory apartment is going around. Minutes, we have some minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I reviewed the minutes and provided some edits to you already.
Okay.
And if other members have any other changes they'd like to propose.
Provided to the board is strictly and FY.
Okay, yeah.
These meetings,
Strictly, and,
And this is mine.
yep, we got that one.
Richard Netter, Oxford, and showed pictures. Let's see.
Walnut Street. Uxbridge, let's get rid of it.
Code CO18. Go to pavement.
Oh, yeah, that's,
This is just grammatical, but which will be done? Not Monday.
Is the cube coming up with anything on them trees? No word?
I haven't heard anything on that.
Okay.
Just take that up and say which will be done. It's just grammar.
I'll ask Bob and Eric about that and see where that is.
Yeah. I've just been quiet for a while, that's.
Yeah.
This was December 7th, so we're a little behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think coming in, these minutes, slowly.
It's much slower for Concom,
Yeah.
but she's definitely getting caught up on January with
Okay.
us, so this should be coming in pretty soon.
All right. So we went through the minutes, Matt had some corrections.
have you addressed the minutes, December 7th?
Yeah, we're going over that now. There's some grammatical stuff in it we corrected.
Okay, because there's some typos in there, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we probably got that. Other than that, the minutes looked good, so, anyone like to approve those
As amended.
as amended? And I'll hand that amended copy back to Matt.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Zwicker, second by Ms. Shushman. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I would abstain, you didn't, but I wasn't. Did we just,
Okay,
did we just approve
One
the minutes
abstention.
Amendments.
with amendments?
yep.
Got it.
So I know.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Benoit, that I may have
No, sir.
skipped over? All right. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Zwicker, second by Mr. Preston. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.